in this world is my balls and my word. And I don't break them for no. Do you understand?
Welcome to the show. This is the show? No, it's Big KIZ Podcast. I'm Brian.
I'm Avi.
This is Big KIZ Podcast. Hit like, comment, subscribe, and
all that good stuff. Shit.
Yeah. So, Abu, just before this podcast, I was talking to you about my strange obsession with they call them battle stations, but it's not a battle station, innit? It's just like your little computer video game type setup. And you were talking about like your current living situation or whatever.
Yeah.
So tell me, because we're both, are we working from home? Are you working from home at the minute?
Oh, no. See, I've been on annual leave since Wednesday.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So literally, I've just been lying around being a fat shit, really and truly, man. I've just been eating, just watching Bear, catching up with Bear on Netflix, watching a bit of Ozark, and also Amazon Prime, and like it's a cartoon called Invincible.
Oh, okay,
I wouldn't say it's an anime, but I would say it's adult orientated, just because it's really bloody. Like for a cartoon, you'd think, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, other than that, I've just been so lazy for this past week. But yeah, what I think we were talking about is like you were talking about your battle station, like a little computer hub where you can get away and just enter your own world. I think like it's important to, like when you have space like that, you could build something. Because one thing I found, right, is like separation, especially, I can imagine it must be a bit hard for you working from home also, but I felt it now because I live in my like studio flat, the kitchen, the dining table, everything is kind of close to my bed. So when I feel like I need to get up and do something, like I say, okay, I'm going to tidy up my room, I'll jump up, go in the kitchen, and then I'll end up cooking something for myself when the initial plan was to tidy up. And then, honestly,
if you're hungry, right?
Yeah. But kind of like I lose like this is the place that I live, and I'm so used to. I can't used to doing it for something else. Like a lot of the time, I'm telling myself I need to study. I'm gonna sit down, going like you heard of Udemy?
Yeah. So it's like online learning type.
Basically, yeah. And I'm like, I'm gonna crack out an hour each day. Wow,
trust me, because I would love to. Because you know what, I didn't mind working from home, and if you can work from home anywhere, like I said, if I could earn a wage or whatever, where you can work from home, but you can afford a home where you have a separate room, which is just a work room. So at 5 o'clock, you shut that door, and all your work life is left in that room.
Exactly that.
You get that separation. But I think you're experiencing what I've been experiencing during this time working from home, which is I live at my work. I live at work because the same place I'm exactly sitting now is where I have to sit and do all my work. And it's just a psychological thing. It is a psychological thing, right? You're not as comfortable. You don't get to unwind as much because it's the exact place where you are supposed to be away from work, but the environment doesn't change, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what makes it worse is kind of like when you do it for a prolonged period of time. Like initially you can think working from home is all nice and sweet, but I think it slowly grates on you like, this. Like I like a change of scenery when I'm learning, because even when I was at uni, I would never sit at the same spot in the library, like for too long. I'd like one time I'd be at the mirror at the window, the next I'd be like on the ground floor. I'd always like somewhere different because you never know.
Okay, and this is an interesting question, right? At uni, did you ever study at home or did you have to be in the library?
See, I'd study at home if it was I'd rarely study at home, but I would at times. But my preference would be I'd go to the library if I couldn't find my focus again. Because what it is, when I'm at the yard, I could do it for maybe like 30 minutes, but beyond that, I'll try and do something else.
Well, this is the thing, you've got too many options. Like, I mean, I'm about to say, like, yesterday, things kicked off at my job, and I was like, damn, I can't watch this TV show during my working day, and I was annoyed. And in reality, there's no way I could do this job well and watch a TV show all day.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, so right, what you're telling me, you're watching TV at work?
No. What happens is sometimes you go on lunch break and you've got to finish the episode, but your lunch break's finished, isn't it? That's what I'm saying.
Got it, huh?
No, but no, don't get me wrong. Like, I have to get my shit done. There's no way around it, type thing.
Of course.
But what I'm saying is, for me, I definitely know. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to enjoy the transition back if it goes back to normal. Like, my perfect way of living would be like, work from home Monday, work from home Friday. Just go in for the 3 days during the week.
That makes sense, definitely.
That's what would be good. But I need some time in the office. Like, I think I need that little, because there's something, man. There's something to having to shower to be like public ready. You know what I mean? Like, you've got to be groomed, you've got to be showered, you've got to be public ready. Like, because let's say it's cold. It's been cold recently,
Exactly,
and if I'm just at home, I don't shower, and that's not.
Cool.
I'm not even gross though. I'm just saying, I'm at home all day. I go for like an hour's walk or like a 40-minute walk at 5, but it's cold as hell outside.
Would you also let's say you're in a meeting, do you do Teams meetings?
Oh yeah, and
So
they're draining as hell. Those things.
Do you ever like turn up in a Teams meeting with like a shirt and a tie, but you're only wearing like shorts underneath?
Oh well, don't get it twisted. Yeah, I try and dress up a bit smarter.
Oh really? That's cute. What, even trousers?
No. I'm just saying, like, I'll wear a polo shirt instead of a t-shirt when it's the day of the team meeting. That's all I'm saying. Don't get me wrong. Like, I've been in meetings wearing hoodies and this kind of stuff.
Cool. Nothing like only in your boxes, and then the rest is just
No. But one thing I find about the team meetings though is it's just worse. It's slower. It's like it's more ineffective. Like, don't get me wrong. I think the flexibility of the whole work from home thing is interesting.
Yeah.
Or whatever, but I think being in the office has its own uses. Like,
yeah, definitely. Because what really Teams is like, you got like the host, you got somebody else talking, and you got like maybe 5 other people just watching. That's what really a Teams meeting is. Because I don't. Did they ever ask you, has anybody else got any other thoughts? And everyone goes dead quiet.
Oh yeah, all the time. That's literally, people just want it to end, because this is the thing. Like, a face-to-face meeting is different. It's like there's something more draining, because think about it. Like, we have team meetings and we've got like 8, 9, 10 people in the meeting. It's draining to have to watch everyone. Yeah, exactly. And it's that thing where, because it's the team meeting, everyone has to talk, and then it's just useless. No, I get the point of it. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, think about it. I've started work from home, so I've not met any of my colleagues. So it does make sense that I see them, and they're my colleagues and blah blah blah.
So you can see them and judge them. That's what people did.
Well,
because one teacher was telling me, she always puts you can change the background of your screen when you're talking. Yeah, she did that because she heard the other teacher was talking about how her kitchen was set up, and she was pissed off. So she's like, "No, they're never gonna see my house again."
Oh yeah, but that's the thing. Like, some people can get sensitive over that kind of stuff. But it is true. That's one thing I don't like about the whole work from home Teams meeting element of it, right? Which is, it's like a really intrusive way to work, in the sense that, do you want to see people see your family pictures behind you and all this kind of, and again, so this is what I'm saying. This goes back to having your own private study or work area, whatever. It does make a difference.
Of course.
I
agree on that.
Like, And so I don't know. But you know what were you looking to learn on this Udemy or whatever?
Udemy, I was trying to learn like cloud computing because that's where it's at. And also, if I had time, blockchain, the technology
Oh, okay,
behind
yeah.
cryptocurrency. If I could actually get an understanding of how it works instead of like just the crypto side of it. But I think those are the things I wanted to learn, like cloud computing and blockchain, because I feel like that's something that's going to be incorporated in the future
And is
soon
it
enough.
free to learn?
No, it's
Or
like I think I pay like £10 a month.
oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, yeah. Which ain't too bad because the courses are you get some good quality courses, others not so much, but because there's so much on there, yeah, there's always something to look at.
Man, because I was thinking for a long time. Oh, I was thinking, damn, let me learn like some computer programming and just do that. And do you know what I mean? Like basically, I would self teach and then create some sort of portfolio of bits of work I've done to evidence my like programming
Brilliant.
skills or whatever,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
find work via that route. But it is a drain. It's a big drain of your effort and energy and stuff, isn't it? Like,
I wouldn't say it's a
so
big trade. It's just like it can be a bit. It's just a long process. It's not something you have to
yeah.
half-hard. Because even before when I was doing because I done a computer exam last year, and I remember I was studying almost every day, like at least 6 times a week. But once you get into the groove of learn, because what it is, once you learn something new, it's a new sense of dopamine hitting you because learning there's a fulfillment when you learn something, right? I'm sure when you were using After Effects like before with our old YouTube videos, there was a point where you're like, oh crap, I'm learning shit, and it's like it's not as hard as I thought it would be.
Yeah, mate.
And then once, yeah,
I thought I was ready to be like working for BT Sport doing the highlights after that. To be honest.
exactly that, exactly that. So once you find that, I think they call it flow. Once you find that little inspiration, and it's good to go. But it's just starting. That's the hardest thing, right? Because when's the last time you touched After Effects? And do you reckon you could do it off the top of your head right now?
No, actually, I could, but the problem is obviously that issue with it not being quite legitimate
Of course.
or something like this. But no, I mean, but you know what it is? It's like I think 3 of my cousins, all in Brazil, all do computer programming.
Okay.
So it's like, one, you've got that knowledge or whatever, and when I say like, so I don't know, it's something that I thought about, but simultaneously I kind of thought like, damn, I wouldn't want my income to drop that substantially at the moment. One,
Okay.
that's a problem for me.
So you don't think you could balance the two, like from the learning and doing your current job?
Oh, well, what my cousin said to me is like, really, what you might want to consider is like a boot camp type thing where they do 6 weeks intense.
Oh, those are expensive, man. Those cost like $3,000 or something.
No, exactly. Yeah, that's why I thought actually it makes more sense for me to learn it in my own time and then do the little portfolio style
Definitely.
thing. But at the same time, I'm kind of like, and normal life focus. But I think it's difficult, right? Because it's different. It's like this endeavor here. We've gotten into the flow of this task.
Yeah, yeah. Every Saturday.
You know.
And I think, and again, it gives you the point where it's no longer a chore. Like I know what time I wake up, I know what I do, and then boom, we're talking.
No, I think it has gotten definitely easy. But yeah, no. So I've been thinking about this thing because really, everyone and even myself, I always thought, oh damn, I don't want to do IT because I don't want to be in front of computers all day. But that's what I do anyway.
Every day, yeah.
So in that sense, it's like I think I would be much better off just doing IT bits instead of anything else. That's why when you mentioned you were doing IT stuff, I was like, damn, yeah, that makes a lot of sense because IT
Yeah.
is not going to go anywhere. It's only going to expand.
Exactly that. This year, especially during this COVID situation, we've all like. Oh, talking about, I was gonna jump onto the BAFTAs recently. Did you hear what happened to? Do you know the actor called Noah Clark, the guy from Kidulthood?
Yeah. No, of course.
Yeah, so the madness happened, right? So the BAFTAs were this week, right? Not like anybody else cares, but the reason I took interest is that Noel Clarke was awarded an award by the BAFTAs for like outstanding contribution to British cinema over the years. But then yesterday, it turns out like 20 women have come out and accused him of like groping, harassment, and bullying, and so BAFTA have suspended his reward. And I was like, oh shit, damn, you know. Like I didn't expect that, you know. It's funny how, because No Clark, I'll never forget Kiddo, who was such a good film.
Yeah.
But there was, you know what, there was early tellings. Do you know Adam Deacon by any chance? He
Yeah,
was also
yeah.
Kiddo.
Adam Deacon saying he's a bully.
Yeah. And I was like, oh crap, you know, you never really know someone until, well, shit like that happens. But I guess the cancel culture is still about more than
Well,
anything.
is it? I mean, it's like I wouldn't even say it's like cancel culture. I think it's like a bit of a Me Too type thing, basically.
Yeah, and he's been caught out too.
I mean,
he.
so you know what? Like, I think it's just bullshit. Sometimes because it's tricky, right? I'm not. By the way, what you know, in some ways, I'm quite happy that he's been done for this stuff because. But here's the thing, right? The dude's not a rapist. Okay, you know, you need to make that distinction. Like, I don't know how far his actions go and whether or not they could be considered criminal, right, or whatever. But let's get it straight. Yeah, if that's your sister who wants to be an actress or whatever is working around Noel Clarke, some of the shit just ain't on. Right? And you know, one thing I was thinking when this story came out that I've been reflecting on, I was thinking, Rare, kidulthood is quite explicit sexually.
Yeah.
Not in his demonstrations, but like every sexual interaction in kidulthood is exploitative.
Yeah.
Apart
That's
from
true.
Adam Deacon and the girl.
Yeah, true.
Right?
But-
like every and I think that's kind of interesting because I don't know necessarily if you needed that much of it in there.
Oh shit!
Right?
Okay.
Do you get what
yeah.
I'm saying? Like it seems a bit it doesn't add anything to the narrative, but it obviously maybe like you kind of see a proclivity towards something by Noel Clarke. But you know, who's to say, because there's lots of other shows he must do where there's none of that. So, you know, I'm not saying it's evidence, but I'm just saying, in retrospect, it looks a bit funny and strange now.
You got a clear point on that because when it came to the screenplay, Noel Clarke was the one who directed and produced the film. So I guess a lot of it did have his like ideas
Well, and he
on how
wrote
he
it
wanted.
as well. Yeah. No, because I just think, actually, there's the bits in kidulthood where, for example, it's the two teenage girls who are under 16.
Yeah.
And they end up at the just during
guys-
the older man's flat who's buying
Yeah.
them drugs
And have to give him head.
and give him head, and then the
Yeah.
other girl gives do the hand job, and it's just like, damn, that whole scene doesn't really add anything to the story.
I
you
guess.
know?
I guess maybe it's an insight into how shit happens, a reflectiveness of what can happen.
No,
But I
of
get what
course,
you-
yeah. No,
But I get
because
what you mean.
I do,
Yeah.
you know, that wasn't my life experience, right, kidulthood, but
Yeah.
that was, it was enough of it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, that's
Obviously, it's fantasy at the end of the day. It's not
yeah,
reality.
yeah. And also, you know, none of that shit, like, the whole kidulthood storyline happens in like a day or two. But
Yeah,
what I
pretty
mean
much,
is,
yeah.
characters who are in that movie, I sat in classes next to those characters. I bought recreational products of those characters.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? Like I had those sorts of characters try and want to rob me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, like, so I've seen it all. I know everyone in that show. Do you know what I mean? They like everyone in that TV show is familiar
Of
to
course,
my
yeah.
experience, right?
Definitely.
So like you said, I also love kidulthood.
But no, that's definitely an insight that I didn't see. Yeah, because sometimes if you look at other people's past works, you can like, how did I miss that message? Like I'm guessing with Harvey Weinstein, right? I think it was there was with the more reports coming about him, you're like, holy shit, why wasn't this guy reported earlier? But I guess it's hindsight is 2020, or at least now you can
Yeah.
report what's going on.
But I mean, anyway, for whatever reason, and probably mistakenly, I always like looking at comments just to see what the public response is. I'm more interested in the public response than what
An
the media
editorial.
is pushing. And they're all like, "Oh, it should go to court," blah blah blah. But the thing is, it's like what I said before. No one's accused him of rape. Do you get what I'm saying? It's just they've just accused him of kind of taking advantage of his powerful position by behaving in ways which are sexually inappropriate, right?
Definitely.
So, and to be honest, he denies it all, but then apologizes. If you're denying it, you ain't got nothing to apologize for, bro.
Of course.
You
Of
know,
course.
I think, but it's like what I said. None of the shit he's actually done is necessarily criminal. I mean, some of it might be like if he did record nude auditions which shouldn't have been recorded, is voyeurism and all that kind of shit. Blah blah
Yeah.
blah. But I don't know. It's a tricky situation. But it's not. He's just doing what any other Hollywood producer or whatever has
person
done
in power. Yeah.
in the past.
Yeah.
So.
Hey. On a lighter note, though, something to bring joy to you. What do you reckon of the Europa League?
Oh, so you know what? I watched that.
Yeah, what a game for you, man. That must have felt so good.
Let me ask you: did you watch that game by any chance, or just the highlights?
Just the highlights, because I was watching the Arsenal game, because they're on at the same time.
Oh my god! So, just let's just. I think we should get used to the reiterating. But I'm a Man United fan from the south of England, of course.
Yeah, glory hunter.
Just like David Beckham. Yeah, fact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Rio, Man United fan from the south of England as well. Yeah. So don't get it twisted.
No, Rio was at West Ham first, and then Leeds took him up. Then he got a taste of Champions League.
No. Hold
Then
on.
Man United were like, this guy's big money.
You're talking about his career journey. Yeah. Rio is a Man United fan. Yeah, and he's from the south, isn't it? Just saying.
Yeah, when was he? I bet he was a West Ham fan before also.
Yeah, maybe. Anyway, and you're a Arsenal fan. So both our teams are in the semi-finals of the second tier European competition in football.
Oh, man.
And it's two-legged. So Arsenal, what was the Arsenal score in the first leg?
Oh, in our first leg, we lost 2-1 to Villarreal. They should have put us to bed, man. Honest to God, like Emery, because Unai Emery was the manager now of Villarreal, so it's kind of like his revenge. But it's honest to
he
God,
used to be Arsenal manager, right?
Yeah, exactly, before he got kicked to the curb. And now, like, they were dominating it. It was 2-0. They were 2-0 up within the first 30 minutes. Like, Arsenal did not have an answer. And he tried this, like, weird false number 9 stuff.
Who,
like
Arteta?
Pep. Yeah, trying to copy Pep. And I'm like, oh, bruv, it's not working. And then Danny Ceballos got sent off. So at this point, I'm like, yo, we're really going to get it kicked in. But you know what Unai Emery did? He started going defensive. He took off like a striker and
That's
put
a
in
mistake.
Francis Coquelin within the 60th minute. So the team naturally started to sit back, and that allowed Arsenal to get a foothold in the game. We won a penalty that, really and truly, if the penalty was against you, you'd be mighty pissed. Like, Saka tries dribble past 3 man, and then his training leg kicks one of the other players' standing legs, and they give it. And I'm thinking, God, we got lucky there. So it ended 2-1.
No, I watched the highlights of that, and yeah, I mean, geez, Pepe's got balls putting the penalty down the middle, because I was just thinking, blimey, I think like just psychologically, if that doesn't go in, it's over.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
exactly
you know
that.
what? For some reason, I think Arsenal at home with no fans is probably as comfortable as it gets for Arsenal. You know.
No, but
But
we've lost seven games at home in the Premier League. That hasn't
oh
happened
really?
since yeah,
Damn.
that hasn't happened since 1994, and this is like pre-Wenger time, man. And it's like, damn, like how far are we gonna give this manager to go? You know,
But
like,
you know, sometimes it's just the players you got. It's not even the manager's fault. The manager can only work with what he's got.
but sometimes, okay. Remember the game in which Arsenal lost 3-0 to Liverpool? Did you watch that? Or
Um, oh, and was that just recently when Arsenal really should have been beating Liverpool because they were on a bad run of form?
yeah. That game, oh my god, it just showed the difference between how Jurgen plays and how Arteta plays. They were so like passive. They were just sitting back. They were just hoping for the counter attack against the Liverpool side that Fulham managed to beat them, Everton managed to beat them by going at them, by literally just going at them.
But
And
going out, and that's the thing. You know what? Sometimes, but I think. So just talking about United, I think you're starting to see what a bit of man management does, because I think this is the weird thing. I think the lower you go, the more the tactics are important. The higher you go, if you've got the quality players, the tactics start to mean slightly less, as long as you kind of have them structurally in the right place on the field,
okay.
kind of thing. Because, yeah,
Would you say like a Sam Allardyce has more tactical nous than an Arteta because he's got West Brom players and we're literally hoping that they don't get torn apart by other teams, so he's more tactically aware versus Arteta is like, you know what, boys, go out there and do what you can.
no, I think the problem with Arteta is he wants to play a game that he hasn't got the players quality enough to do it. Because I was thinking this, it's like sometimes I suspect you can't overthink things too much. Like you got to give players roles, and then you need to leave them to express themselves during these roles.
You got to
Right.
bang on the money, yeah.
You know, I think that's the thing. The manager is responsible for giving players roles, and then the players are responsible for fulfilling those roles.
Precisely that.
You know,
Because what I found with Arteta, it's like the way we play is very methodical. There isn't a lot of flair. There's no room for expression. It's very rigid. Like he expects, all right, I want the back four to pass it out. I want the midfield to be in this and this position. I want the strikers to do that. But it's like teams can read you, because there was a thing where Aubameyang went on like I think a 6-game run without scoring goals. But the reason is because we were relying on a tactic in which we'll pass it down the right flank and switch it over to the left flank. But teams will suss you out, and if you only do what you do on a training field, then that's what led to Arsenal's poor run of games. There was no. If you were to watch Arsenal, Brian, I'm telling you, man, there was no spark, there was no flair. As where with Wenger, we lost the tactical nous, but we knew we used to get Wenger ball, what they call it.
yeah,
It was you had Barcelona's football, and then you had Wenger ball,
yeah.
and that's what I miss.
So this is interesting because it makes me think about Man United. Now, Man United now, recently, so one, I think I think Ole is still learning. He's learning, right? And actually, you have to learn, because if you think about it, every team you face is different, and you need to work out what is the best system and what are the best roles with the players you got, right? Do you see what I'm saying? And what happened is, normally, if Pogba isn't playing or Pogba is in the holding, right, all the focus is on Fernandes to create. Whereas, look at Manchester City, apart from Jesus, who they play as a second striker or a false nine or whatever, they're all attacking midfielders. And this is the thing. This is like a kind of tactical transition that happened with Pep's Barca, which is... Just before that, it was all about the number 9. It was the central lone striker, right? But what they noticed and this was also with Fergie and Ronaldo and Messi, which is on the diagonal, you have more space. So coming in from the wing or from the wide area, you got more space as an attacker to do what you need to do. So, and because attacking midfielders drift all over the pitch, is what City do, right? It's what City do. So United now, for example, with this Roma game, you had Pogba and Fernandes in advanced positions. So now you can't just go storm one player to like crush the attack, because if two players go for Pogba, you're creating space straight away, and there's Fernandes there or there's Pogba there. Do you see what I'm saying? So that's a big change for United. Like, that's a problem, because think about it. You can have Cavani up top, then you've got Pogba on the left, you've got Fernandes behind Cavani, and then you can have a speedy cat on the right wing, like a Greenwood or a Rashford. And then you got some options. Then you got things happening. Then you got defenses being pulled apart. The problem with Man United is midfield and the centre backs. Wan-Bissaka, bruv, why does not Wan-Bissaka, the right back, Man United right, why is he so adverse to crossing the ball?
Yeah, you need to talk to. I thought the manager would talk to him, but at this point,
I don't get it. I literally don't get it. One, for several reasons. One, because he could probably cross the fucking ball. Bro, I get irate because one, I know he could deliver a ball in. He can cross because he can pass. I've seen him do little crossfield passes or whatever. He can do it, and he's always in advanced positions. And not only that, more often than not, when he actually takes the fucking opportunity to do something optimistic and positive and attacking, when he's in the final third with the ball, is to the benefit of the team. But he doesn't do it enough, because he always only passes it back. I'm just thinking, just float one in, bro. Float one in or drill it in. Do you know what I mean? He's smart enough, bro. Like, the tactic defensively, I don't think that I've seen a better right back. Like, his tackles and shit are pinpoint. Like, it's a bit frustrating. But Luke Shaw's popped off. But Man United's problem is the centre back. I think Maguire's a bit shit, frankly. Like, Maguire needs a top. If you had someone top class next to Maguire would be better. But he's not very good. Someone needs to tell him what to do.
Oh, really? Even though he's a captain, he's the one supposed to telling people what to do.
Yeah, I don't think he's very good. Like, I think physically he has all the qualities and skills, but he hasn't got the brain.
What about Lindelof?
Man, Lindelof, I think he's less talented than Maguire, right? Like, in physical attributes and skillmanship and whatever. But he's slightly more ball playing, and he's slightly less dumb.
Okay.
But
so
he's also not great.
I see.
You know, I would say, like, let's say, I'll be generous, yeah. If Maguire is a 7 out of 10 player, Lindelof is a 6.5 player. But I almost think, actually, depending who you pair them with, you might prefer Lindelof over Maguire, because actually Lindelof does have just this season, for example, he's delivered a few like long passes through balls that have led immediately to goals. Right. Okay. So it's a bit of a funny one, but that's a weakness. And also, Fred and McTominay is a weakness. If you had one defensively minded midfielder, you could drop. You wouldn't need to play both of them holding.
Wait. So how did you normally do it? Did you took McTominay and Matic?
So normally, Ole is playing Fred and McTominay, and they both hold.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I don't think either of them are actually holding players. I think they're both box to box players. Okay. You know, I think McTominay can score. Like, McTominay is a bit of a beast in that sense, because he's like large physically and whatever. and he, like in the Leeds game, he was told not to hold by Ole, and he's packed 2 goals quick. So there's a lack of quality in the spine of the Man United team. That's why sometimes you're watching. I don't know. I have like a spidey sense, mate, because sometimes when we're going to concede, I see it 20 seconds away. It's like you see in a car crash in slow motion. You're just like,
Yeah.
what? Like you're looking at it and you're thinking, what the hell is happening here? Like you see it. You can see it before it even happens.
Mate, I've seen that so many times with Arsenal goals.
Oh
man.
yeah, I can imagine.
Once you see like 2 players out of position, you're like, oh crap! If he's gonna switch them, he switched it. He's gonna cross it. It's goal.
Mate, I'm telling you, I can't deal with it. Even when I would play football, like with mates, or whatever, I'm just like, I can't deal. Like a square ball, no fucking way. That's the worst. I can't deal with a square ball. Square ball into the box, drives me mad. Especially when there's no one affecting the dude's control. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you've seen it, how many goals are just stopped by someone being there? They don't even need to touch the ball. Just be there. Just get in their way. Just whatever, man.
Cut out the pass,
Cut out the pass, whatever. Just give them that tiny little nudge or whatever. Or just touch the ball a tiny bit and they're not going to hit it. Whatever. But, yeah, so that's the thing. But I got to say, since the end of last season, which obviously restarted with the COVID or whatever, Fernandes made me fall in love again with football because he gets the ball and you don't know what he's gonna do. Like it excites you. It excites me. And even Pogba, it's like Pogba he can't carry a team. He don't want to carry the team. But if he's looking around, thinking, my boys are on this, then he's part of the squad. But
he plays well when the team plays well.
No, I wouldn't even say that. It's just more like when he's playing, I think he doesn't want to do all the work. But it's not necessarily a work thing. It's just like a kind of a mindset thing. He's looking at the team now thinking, okay, we got Bruno. Oh, we got Cavani. Oh, Greenwood's coming good. You know, he's starting to see that, okay, there's a point to this bullshit.
So let me ask you this, Brian, then. United are going to win the Europa League? Because you already know from the first leg, 6-2, they ain't coming back from that.
It's a 4-goal, I mean, we would have to fuck it up pretty bad. Are we going to win? You know what? I think it's like, you can't get cocky and take it for granted. Didn't we lose to Arsenal this season?
Yeah, by a penalty.
By a penalty. Well, there you go. That could be Europa League final right there. We could lose to Arsenal.
But you guys were piss poor. Even in the second game, you guys should have scored 0-0 at the Emirates.
No, we were piss poor, And I do think it was like a lack of intensity. Like, Arsenal were playing like it was their World Cup final, that game.
No, actually, we were pretty insipid. You guys had more shots on target.
No, I watched that game. I swear you lot were thinking it's cup final day. That's what was going on. You're like, oh yeah, Man United, big rivals. That was going on.
No, that was in the
now because you can't fuck with Spurs, even though they're shit. Like,
no, we got
final day.
All of our hopes are pinning on our second game against Villarreal, and then we'll see what happens in the final. You know.
Well, this is the thing. Finals are finals, right? Any team can beat any team. On their day, true. You know. In fact, one of my favourite, and in fact, is worth watching. I think it's like, I think it might be Burnley. It was like a promoted team or whatever. Promoted team near the bottom of the table is the first team to beat Chelsea's Mourinho at home, and they're bangers of a goal. Like,
was it 3-0? And without what was it?
I think it ended 3-2 to be fair to Chelsea or something, but it was like 3-0 at one point or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So
yeah, you do love it. You do love it when the underdog wins.
Oh yeah, I mean, let me ask you, like with Leicester, I mean, obviously it must have hurt to see Leicester win the title when Arsenal. Yeah. That was a perfect opportunity season for Arsenal to push for it.
Yeah. No, but I was pissed. But you know what? Because I did watch a documentary on the Leicester winning on the league. Did you know that the season before they almost got relegated and had to go on like a 6-game run? And that galvanized the players, you know? And it was like, I think you're right. When you have like star players like Mahrez, Vardy on form, and then N'Golo Kante in your squad, and you got a team built on just being defensive and keeping to the fundamentals. Yeah, that showed that sometimes.
No, but I think sometimes it's not just skill; it's mentality. Like, look at Liverpool.
Yeah,
They had 3 seasons of intense mentality, and now they're burnt out, and that's why they've fallen away this season. Of course, with Van Dijk as well. But it's like it's hard. It's hard because a lot of these players are pros. Like, they're all good, but you need to want it. You need that fire in your belly, and sometimes people ain't got the fire in the belly.
entirely, man.
You know. But it's funny. But let's see. But that said, I think PSG losing to Man City, that didn't surprise me because Man United beat PSG comprehensively earlier this season. So I wasn't surprised about City beating PSG.
How about Chelsea?
Chelsea, damn. I mean, I think who did they play?
Real Madrid. 1-1 at the Bernabeu.
Well, let's see. I think that could still go either way. But I think if it's City versus Chelsea, I think City are just going to show up. Then no way would they let Chelsea take their first Champions League.
Yeah, not another English team.
You know?
Yeah.
And the thing is, let me say, this is also a problem. Like Chelsea, everyone's laughing earlier on saying, oh, they spent all that money and blah, blah, blah. They're falling off. They're not going to, they're shit, blah, blah, blah. But here they are. They're nearly in the final.
No, but
and
the
like
thing
I said,
is,
once you're in the final, all the money that's spent would be worth a Champions League.
Yeah. But the thing is, the problem wasn't Chelsea. The problem was Frank Lampard. And they sussed it out sooner than I thought. I wanted Frank to stay the whole season because it was just it was literally he got handpicked to do the job, right? He has Derby in the Championship for 1 season, doesn't even get him promoted, and he gets the Chelsea gig. And I was like, nah, that ain't right. You should be doing what Stevie G's doing up north,
Okay, but Ole got the gig.
Yeah, well, that's nepotism, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Although, to be fair, Ole had been doing it in Molde
for a bit, yeah.
Yeah, and he won the league in Norway. And so, but I just think because he's working with better quality players, sometimes it's just putting them in the right roles and then saying, like, for example, this game just now, I don't know if you watched the highlights, we were losing 2-1 at
half time, yeah. Mental.
And it's just like you don't need to say too much. You just need to say let's move it. Like enjoy your football. Like players enjoy when they're winning, because when it was 3-2, he could have gone defensive again, and he was like, no, just go for it. Just attack them. Like, so it's interesting. But you know what? It's also interesting because it relates back to the other podcast about mentality and winning. And you know what? Today I wanted to talk to you about some like anime I've been watching, and I also wanted to talk about like although look, I think we should close curtains soon anyway.
Okay.
But let's think. I want to talk about some anime I've been watching because I asked you about Death Note, isn't it?
Yeah. Jeez. You say you've been watching it. I could do that too, I ain't watched it in a couple years.
Well, exactly. Well, this is what I'm saying. I forgot the storyline, so we can talk about that. But
damn.
also, one thing I did, and actually is helping me, I've put all my social media apps or whatever into a little group on my phone. So I have to go out of my way to open up some time-wasting bullshit in my life.
And do you reckon it's cut down the amount of time you spent on social media now?
Yeah, of course, because it's like if you exert just that little bit of discipline, because I need to open up one group and then open up the other group, and it's just like before I open up the app, I've got that extra second where I'm like, what am I doing? What is this bringing me or whatever?
Exactly that. Entirely, man.
And it's like actually, well, for example, what we're doing here, this is another endeavor. It's like the learning thing, but this hour is much more worth it than spending an hour on social media, or you know what I mean? Like, why spend 20 minutes on some shit that's not going to matter in 20 minutes when you could read a book that's going to grow you for 20 minutes?
100.
You know what I mean? So it's kind of an interesting thing, man. But yo, Big KIZ.
How are you gonna end it?
Yeah, I was gonna. Yeah,
That's the way to go. Big KIZ.
Big KIZ,
Oh,
baby.
no. Yeah, it's a big KIZ podcast. Oh, I thought you actually wanted to touch a little bit more on the anime.
No, because otherwise we're gonna hit an hour. And you know what? It's Saturday morning, and I've got some bread to put in the oven, bro. I got some dough to be dealing with. I already made the dough, by the way. I just need to bake it.
Oh yeah, so this is actually a thing for you now. When's the last time you bought bread now? It's been a couple of weeks now.
Almost a month actually.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I am going to buy
Yeah.
bread again, but one, I love bread and cheese and this shit, and it's not good. By the way, I didn't join the gym. I'm planning to join the gym this Monday.
Oh right,
Right,
nice, sir.
so-
yes, sir. Getting that pain and gain, bro. My body's sore all over. From
Oh,
going
that's
gym.
good, man. Like, you know what? Because I started realizing my mood is fucked up. Like, I'm unhappy. I wouldn't even say I'm not depressed, but I'm just unhappy because it's like it gets rid of all those emotions or whatever you're feeling. It gets rid of
Yeah.
it, you know. And you're right. Like, there's something. It's like what you're saying about the flow. Like, once you get that burn and you feel it, it's hard. Like, it's
Entirely,
hard
man.
to go back. I think I just need to hit 3 months of going 3 times a week, and then, you know, if you don't go gym, you're a hamster without a wheel. So,
And
but anyway,
we'll end it
we
like
can
that.
we can touch on all this next week, innit? But
Cool,
I'm sure
man.
we'll have even more rubbish to talk about. And you know, we didn't go into the Casher curtains, all that
Oh
madness.
yeah, damn.
You know what I mean? So it's crazy.
But yeah, this has been the Big KIZ podcast. Check us out at bigkiz.com. You can leave us a voice.
Official.
Leave us- Yeah, it's been official for a long time, ain't it? Like we've been around since 2021 establishment. What you know how they have on the like clothing logo and
Oh, yeah.
established 1975, established 2021. We've been doing this, baby, and leave us a message. We're on YouTube soon enough, and yeah, thanks for listening.
Peace.